Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the sexy ninja, in the place to be. A little early, a day early if you want to say, or when you're going to listen to this, happy mother-loving birthday to the New World Podcast, this incarnation. This is season 4, episode 217. Hot damn! The first episode of season 4 was Hell in a Cell. When I really got into, I was like, I gotta do the New World Podcast, brother. I gotta do this. Because it's something that a lot of people want my opinions on wrestling, and wrestling is such an ever-going thing, and everything's happening in wrestling, especially now. You got AEW, WWE, New Japan, all this stuff going on and popping off. So that was the first podcast of this incarnation, this season 4. And it's crazy looking back at the year we've had, to the Vince McMahon, to Bray Wyatt's return and falling flat on his fucking face, I was just reading about Bray today and how, he had creative control, this and that, going in, and after the big match at Royal Rumble with LA Knight, it just went nowhere. It was supposed to be Bobby and Bray. They teased it, and then nothing happened. And Uncle Howdy's gone. We were like, Bo, it has to be Bo, but all that's in shambles now. There was all this talks of Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan's now pregnant. Congratulations. It's crazy. Then looking at all the stuff with the CM Punk medium skirm and all, it's just crazy. I went through all the, I went through some episodes of starting from the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view review on down, and I was like, man, I'm looking at all the thumbnails. Like, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah, there was that. Oh, that's when I started Rampage. And I'm going through these notes, and what's crazy is this book has officially come to its end. I think it's just 1 or 2 pages, but this book where I take my notes is officially going to be the end of this. Of this show here, with this show. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw. I'm KMB, the Second Ninja. Sorry, I'm just excited. A whole year has gone by, and it's crazy to listen. And it's a documentary, like an audio documentary. I even did video of this for a bit, but I feel like I'm much more comfortable in the sense of audio and just talking to you, talking through your ear holes and stuff like that, and. And I will try the video thing again one day. I also have a lot of other cool things planned. I'm still working on a Q&A type style show. I've been asked hey, can you review Royal Rumble 94? And I was like, yeah, I could do that. And I've met a lot of people since I've made this commitment, and a lot of people have asked me now that they've jumped on board with me on the New World Podcast. They're like, yo, there's these other playlists with all this other stuff. Yeah, so beforehand, just a quick history lesson. We were C+ Studios before I made the switch over to it being a New World Podcast. All that stuff is archived. We have the Social Event Podcast. We have Snack Me's. We have my music. I made music. I'm still dabbling in that as well. I made, videos, a TV show we made. Random ramen. There's so much. Pop Flicks, where we did movie reviews. There's so much in the archives. It's crazy. And seeing the evolution of this podcast in general, and when I finally said, you know what, I'm going to focus on this, and I'm going to make this the best it can be. And now, fast forward, we're here. I got a Pro Wrestling Tees store, ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Get yourself that sweet logo created by Penta X. The numbers are going up a little bit here and there, and I'm getting people's reactions. I'm getting people talking to me, people messaging, hey, yo, I heard the New World Podcast this, and I had a question, blah, 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 or hey, I love this episode, because of this, oh, you're fucking funny. And I've got a couple haters yeah, you suck. And I was like, yeah, sure, okay, but that's okay. We're pro wrestling fans. We're crazy. We're nuts. We're insane. It's fine. But I just want to thank you all for a sweet year. of doing this show, the New World Podcast. It's my love for this sport. I was a professional wrestler once, wrestled for 5 years. Greatest experience of my life, hitting that mat, hitting the bumps, man. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for these performers and the people in the business, brother. So after all that, after I sucked off my own dick in the New World Podcast, everything like that, happy birthday. Big happy birthday. Now, let's get into it, what you're really here for. We're going to talk about Monday Night Rollins. Raw, sorry. June 5th, 2023. Kevin Patrick, Corey Graves on commentary. We're in Hartford, Connecticut. And if you listen to the Ring of Honor podcast, for some reason I said 2013. That'll be forever etched. And someone called me out on that, said botch. That was my botch. I was like, yep, I botched. I do that sometimes. I do stumble, but I want to be real with you at the same time. Okay? We kicked the show off with our World Heavyweight Champion because we have a big main event tonight. Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins starts the show. And then the Judgment Day, Damian and Finn come out. They interrupt. Damian's like, hey, I'm coming for that title. And Seth lays it out saying, like, hey, if you really want to get at this, let's see what you really got. Don't bring the Judgment Day out here. It's going to be me and you, because even with you and me, you don't have the cojones, basically, to beat me one-on-one. And then he took some really fucking great shots at Finn. Talking about, and talking about his title reign being a little bit longer and this and that. And Finn looked pissed, but Damian accepted, and so that sets up the stipulation. No Judgment Day for the main event, so we think. First match of the night, the Money in the Bank qualifying match for the women. Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville with Chelsea Green. Holy hell on popsicles. I don't know what that means, but god damn, this was a good match. Holy, why I keep saying holy? No, this was awesome, man. I was just like, okay, it's Becky, it's Sonya, I don't know what they're going to do. Oh, whoa. Trish comes out, Zoe Starks comes out. I was like, oh, man, please don't let Becky lose this match because of Trish or Zoe. No, Becky still got the job done. That crowd was chanting for her like crazy, and rightly so. The man was just whooping ass and taking names, and then beat Sonya and look down Trish, because their story is not over. And I'm wondering if Trish is going to find her way to getting that Money in the Bank. We're going to the UK for the Money in the Bank. It's gonna be a huge freaking show. We had the Bloodline package, everything that went down, Solo and this and that. So much drama. It's great. When you're trying to explain pro wrestling to people, you're like, yeah, it's a soap opera with athletes. We're telling these stories like it's a progression of this, and so like the bloodline, the family, and it's just fun when you try to tell wrestling fans about these sort of things, non-wrestling fans, you try to explain pro wrestling, and it gets kind of, because I try to explain the bloodline to somebody. I'm like, it's probably one of the best things in pro wrestling. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, then I went up way back story, and I'm like, you know what? Go listen to the New World Podcast and find out. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn backstage. This was great because Imperium interrupted and Kevin got mad. He's like, yo, we did not say your name again, so you can't come over here and do this. It's a unspoken rule here. Why? And then Kevin gets so mad, and Gunther walks up with them, and with Imperium and stuff like that. And Kevin's like, you know what? Me and you, right now, we're going to go to the ring. I'm going to whoop your ass. I'm going to fight. I love this, like, short-tempered, just explosive, angry Kevin Owens. He's had enough, and he just wants to fight. We get him and Gunther. Hell of a match, too. God damn. Beating the shit out of each other. But Gunther for the win. I was wondering how we were going to book this. I'm like, yes, Kevin beating Gunther, I don't think is a good thing for business, because Gunther is still rising. Win and losses with Kevin, I think he's earned his own, so I'm okay with Gunther getting the win here, because I feel like Gunther is much more needing of the win than Kevin is. But this match was awesome. I mean, really great. Then backstage we had Kathy with Matt Riddle, interview. Then Imperium interrupts and stuff like that. And, they get in the fight. But I think we're going to see Matt Riddle and Gunther for that IC championship at Money in the Bank. I just feel it inside my bones. Then we had another backstage interview. Byron is with Shayna and Ronda Rousey, talking about their historic, their tag team championships, them being tag team champions, and this is the new division. They're going to make it, they're going to make sure that we understand that this division is not to be slept on anymore. And we had Carter and Chance, they coming up from NXT, they challenged Ronda and Shayna, and they got a match and they lost. But at the same time, really showing what they can do, what they're bringing to this division. I like these two. They always bring the party when they can. I'm excited to see what these two can do, and we got a taste of what this women's tag team division is going to be. We had a really great backstage segment with Ricochet, Bronson Reed, Shinsuke, and Ricochet's talking, and Bronson's like, hey, man, blah, 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 blah. But Ricochet's like, yo, I earned my spot. And, oh, by the way, did you lose? And then Shinsuke's like, yeah, biatch, you lost. I love just Shinsuke's little walking in yeah, you lost. And just this is huge, man. 40 million views, on the whole Bloodline thing. That says a lot. It was a huge number that came out. It said when that segment came, we celebrated the Tribal Chiefs 1,000 days. That's a huge fucking thing, especially for pro wrestling. So that's just awesome upon itself. And then we have Ricochet versus, people love when I do this. I like when I do this, but it exhausts my windpipes and stuff. But let's do it. Ricochet versus Shinsuke Nakamura. See right there, I couldn't get that. But this match started off strong, but Bronson Reed came in and it caused a DQ. He just wanted to destroy these two, and a tsunami to Ricochet. And I think Ricochet went on his belly down and took the tsunami. I was like, oh, why, Ricochet? Why? And then Bronson Reed looking strong. He's got to find a way into that Money in the Bank ladder match. I already feel it coming. Alpha Academy's backstage with Maxine. They're talking to, I think they're a better duo than what they think they were going to do in the first place by splitting up Alpha Academy and taking Otis, tomato, as my boy says, my spirit animal. I like the fact they're just like, we're going to slot in Maxine here. She's now part of Alpha Academy, and we will let the maximum male models disappear. And that's another thing, going back and looking at this, watching this segment. And after this past year, when I started season 4 all the way up to now, I was like, oh yeah, man, that maximum male models thing. It started with LA Knight. When they brought him up, it was just garbage. And then LA Knight got out of it. And then, and now it's nowhere to be seen or found. It's gone because now Maxine's now with Alpha Academy, and then they're going to train Maxine so they can take on Valhalla and the Viking Raiders. So more on that. We get to a big part of the show, Johnny Gargano package, but Miz TV with Cody Rhodes. And one of the best parts about this, man, was that Miz was singing Cody's song. And it was funny. I was singing Cody's song, and my wife goes, really? I'm like, what? And I was like, hold on. Whoa! Yes, you were saying, honey? And she was like, I big head boy, I was like, man, it's Cody. Miz talking about Cody. Hey, man, you're calling out Brock Lesnar. The Beast is hibernating. So when will we see Brock again? Is it going to be Money in the Bank or will it be SummerSlam? So, what's Cody's place here going into Money in the Bank? Will he be a part of the Money in the Bank? And then Brock Lesnar comes out and stops Cody from winning the Money in the Bank? Then we had the big match at SummerSlam. That seems more plausible. Maybe a qualifying match because they brought out Dominic with Rhea. Dominic getting booed. My wife does not like when Dominic gets booed. She loves Dom Dom, Rightfully so. I love Dom Dom too. He's a gangster. But no, Cody goes at him. And I love that Dominic was doing the whole deadbeat dad thing, with Cody. Like, you're a dad, right? You're a deadbeat. Deadbeat, that's what you are. Then Cody's like, I'm not a perfect man. Your father's not a perfect man. We've all made mistakes. And I know the biggest, your father made mistakes, and I'm looking at him right now. And I was just like, oh, you saucy bitch. God damn, Cody. I was like, And then fucking Dom had to do a slap. Not a punch, not a, elbow. He just did a straight slap to the man and ran off, and Rhea getting in front. And this was just a great segment. And then I love the fact that Cody just turns around and bops fucking Miz with his titanium, I'm throwing up air quotations, cast, because that was just like, they gotta say that, they gotta mention, he hit him with the cast. It's made with titanium, if we didn't tell you this before. But great segment here. Then we have Damian backstage warming up. We have our next Money in the Bank qualifying match. Zoe Starks with Trish versus Natalya. Poor Natalya, once again, being somebody who went and fought for the SmackDown championship at Night of Champions, now reduced to being in the qualifying match and getting knocked out by Zoe Starks. Sorry, Natalya. And once again, I'm not the only one bitching about this. I'm not. Because someone's like, man, just let it go. They're going to do it when they do it. They should have done it like the night of the draft. The fucking SmackDown Women's Championship and the Raw Women's Championship, they need to be swapped at this point already because the draft is over. We're all on their brands. So it drives me nuts when I see Rhea with the SmackDown Women's Championship on Raw. And the same thing with Asuka holding the Raw Women's Championship. And that's what they call them on commentary because, yes, it's rightfully so. That's what they are. Oh, I'm not the only one, though. I thank God. I was on Twitter and I was like, oh shit, I'm not the only one. Back onto the thing. Paul Heyman, backstage promo, says this Friday, Jey Uso has to make a choice. Is he with the bloodline? Is he with his brother Solo and his tribal chief Roman Reigns? Or will he pick Jimmy? Because Jimmy has made his case. So I was just like, oh man, I'm already having a good time with this Monday Night Raw. And then you throw this in the mix. I'm like, man, I cannot wait for SmackDown. This is just getting better and better. And I got called out for this one. Indus Sheer, not Share, Sheer. Versus Cedric Alexander, and I bet you I said it wrong again. Someone's gonna call me out. Shelton Benjamin, no match, nothing happened. They did their thing, they beat him down, and my favorite part's when I think it was Cedric that was down. He's like, oh, or Shelton. He's like, oh, and then it's like, shut up. we're doing our hand gestures here. God damn it. I don't know why I found that so funny because they're doing their hand thing, like they're praying or whatever, and so I think it was Cedric, right? I can't remember because it was so quick, and he's like, shut up, little bitch, he just got knocked the fuck out. Seth backstage now. We're ready. We're down to the meats and potatoes here. Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. No, this match was good. This match was great. World Heavyweight Championship. We haven't had a World Heavyweight Championship match in 2 years. Oh my gosh, it's crazy to even think that, comprehend it, man. But Finn comes out at a certain point, so Damian gets mad. Is this like a slowly turn of them kicking Finn out? Because Damian's like, what are you doing here? But Seth got the win out of a fantastic match. False finishes, this and that. But the real thing that got me going, was getting face to face Seth freaking Rollins and Finn Balor. I was like, this has to happen at Money in the Bank. This has to happen after those really like hard shots, titty twisting shots, freaking purple nurple type shots he did to Finn Balor. I think Finn is pissed and he wants to take on Seth for that World Heavyweight Championship, and we're going to see that at Money in the Bank. Oh, all right. There we go. Great Raw. I had a damn good time from top to bottom. All the matches. My match of the night is Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville. That match was fantastic, man. I had such a good time with that match. Kevin Owens and Gunther is the second match on this card that I really love. Damian Priest and Seth Rollins was really, really good as well. The segment with Miz TV, Cody Rhodes, probably one of the best Miz TVs in a while. And he got bonked with that titanium arm cast. So, I got to give this show a solid 5, man. Like I said, there was a couple things that were kind of like, okay, that's cool, but nothing to make me go like, because it's 3 hours of Raw. It's a lot to get through. But tonight was a nice, easy slice of pie of the Monday Night Raw. Now we're on to NXT, then SmackDown and Dynamite and Rampage and Ring of Honor. I love the starting of my weeks, man. The fact that we can start it off, too, with this big birthday episode of the New World Podcast is freaking awesome because Monday Night Raw starts my week, and it's just nothing but good times and going on from there. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for that like and subscribe. Please, like and subscribe. Share with your grandma, share with your grandpa, share with the bum down at Walmart. Let them know about KM. The sexy ninja, talking about that wrestling, bringing you some funny shit, some funny videos and stuff like that. I'm just here to entertain the masses because that's what I do, baby. All right. That's it. That's all. Thank you again. Big happy birthday. nWp for life. And that is true. That is true. So, Too Sweet Me, get those 2 sweets up right now, and let's do a big one before you go. Let's say it right here. And if you're new to this, you can join along. If you can try to, I don't know, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Remember, the key to this podcast, it's the New World Podcast is for life.
I'm sure he's not the perfect father. Matter of fact, I know he's made some terrible mistakes, and I know that because I'm looking at one.